outside!
She sails from pole to pole,
We are dealing with ice every day.
tackling the most daunting seas on the planet.
And it's not possible to sail in there. It's too shallow.
20, 30 tons are floating in the water, so we don't want to hit them.
Fram goes to extremes
Safe as possible, but with a little bit of an edge.
to take her passengers
You see him? Yeah, you see him?
where few cruise ships dare to go.
It's maybe the most beautiful thing I ever seen. I think so.
Greenland? Who goes to Greenland?
Fram is the most adventurous cruise ship in the world. Other cruisers bask in the sunshine and calm waters of the tropics. But with an extra strong hull to counter ice-choked waters, this ship spends almost the whole year venturing into the seas surrounding Antarctica and the high Arctic.
We think that we can sail in areas where very few ships actually sail. That will be a short distance, so that will be better.
Orald Horvik has captained Fram for 5 of her 8 years at sea. For him, there's no better ship to navigate polar waters.
Stern, bridge.
And no better crew to take her passengers paddling, hiking, or on a sightseeing boat ride.
The crew is very well trained and they know how to handle ship in ice and know where the places are, where to land.
114 meters long and 20 meters wide, Fram accommodates up to 245 guests and 80 crew on her 8 decks.
We can go into small places. We have local knowledge. We know people there.
It's early June. Fram is about to embark on the first of just 4 voyages she will make to Greenland this year. The route and destinations are entirely at the mercy of the weather, making this a 12-day cruise unlike any other. Fram will set out from Reykjavik, Iceland, aiming to sail more than 2,800 kilometers in all. If the ice pack allows, she will go deep into the fjords of southern Greenland. Then head north up the west coast to the iceberg capital of the world, Ilulissat. And Fram will finish up by transiting the 180-kilometer-long fjord that leads to the airport in Qaqortoq.
If you come back and tell them, I've been to Greenland, I saw the most productive glacier in the world, that is a different thing. That is something to tell.
As soon as Fram docks for the start of the trip in Reykjavik Harbor,
Yeah, you can roll out the gangway.
the rush is on to fuel up and provision the ship. On deck 2, in the middle of the ship,
That is not good. You see that, Tom? It's resting on the cockpit.
expedition leader Karen Strand and her team are making sure the ship's kayaks are safely stowed.
Yeah, we should get them about here because this is like the weakest point.
Karen is in charge of just about everything the passengers will do off the ship.
Like even have 2 cowtails so that they could even make eyes somewhere.
When it comes to experiencing firsthand some of the world's most extreme and remote locations, the key for Karen is to keep everyone safe.
That is the normal, safe as possible, but with a little bit of an edge. So we basically load them from that side, from port side, over there. You know that feeling you get when you're doing something you either never done before, you never thought you would do? It's that sort of little adrenaline tingling feeling. That's the feeling I want to have. How much do I have?
While Karen and her team sort out the kayaks, Fram's real workhorses, a fleet of 7 small boats, are checked out and repaired. The boats carry anywhere from 9 to 11 guests to go ashore or explore the ice up close. But as rugged as they are and as strong as Fram is, Karen knows that the itinerary on this ship is certainly not set in stone.
The ice could stop us, and we would have to alter the route completely.
By 4 o'clock, the rooms are ready.
Okay, then we start the boarding. Everything is ready.
Hotel manager Kjell Carlson welcomes most of Fram's 195 guests aboard.
Welcome aboard. The best part is to say welcome to the guest. You have so many, shake hands, and people are so happy.
Over the next few hours, they settle in and enjoy their first meal of the cruise.
Let go all your lines.
By 9 p.m., with the sky still bright, the last few passengers are aboard and Fram is ready to sail.
Starboard side clear. The boat thruster is clear. Yeah.
As Captain Horvik guides the ship out of Reykjavik, he's already thinking of the challenges ahead.
We will have some challenges with the ice in Greenland.
It's been a very long winter in Greenland, harsher than normal, and the ice there has barely started to thaw.
Ice is nice, not too much ice, because then we cannot reach our landings or destinations and things like that.
Fram has tackled conditions like this before. After all, the steel in her hull is extra thick, built to protect her from the ice.
And if you're supposed to be on a polar water ship, you have to like sailing in ice. If you don't like it, you should find other areas to sail.
But with towering icebergs and tight passages in the route ahead, no voyage to the Arctic can ever be called routine. This one is certain to put the ship and her crew to the test. It's day 3 of expedition ship Fram's first cruise of the year from Iceland to Greenland. The ship is cruising across the Denmark Strait at 12 knots, or 22 kilometers per hour.
Nice on, Erling.
But the captain wants Chief Engineer Erling Leren to give him more power.
Thank you. Normally on a transit stage, we do 2 engines.
Fram has 4 diesel-electric generators that can create a total of 8,000 kilowatts. Usually just 2 of those engines are sufficient to both propel the ship and power the hotel elements, like the galley, lighting, and heat. But the captain wants to go as fast as possible in open water, because once they reach the ice-choked fjords of southern Greenland, they'll be slowed to a crawl. That means firing up engine number 3.
The captain decided that he needs to use the 3 engines because the place that we are going first now is blocked of ice, and then he needs to go a little bit faster.
That extra engine adds about 2,000 kilowatts of power, boosting Fram's cruising speed to 14 knots, or about 26 kilometers per hour. With the 3rd engine running and the seas far calmer than usual, it's smooth sailing.
It can get very rough here. It can be normally with 5 to 6 meters wave. Right now it's just a little swell in the breeze.
But not everyone is thrilled the waters are so placid.
It's a little boring. We were talking before we went on this trip, and I said I hope we have at least one day with bad weather. So I'm still waiting.
Fram runs full out for the better part of 2 days.
It's around 30 nautical miles to sail in tight ice.
But as Captain Horvik looks at the ice maps on day 4, he's starting to worry.
My route is already longer.
There's even more ice than predicted in the fjords. That's trouble for expedition leader Karen Strand's itinerary.
And you can see the change of the ice.
A huge band of ice, carried by the current sweeping down from eastern Greenland, is moving into the fjord leading to Qaqortoq, Fram's first scheduled landing.
It will fill up the whole bay with ice.
Where we want to be.
Yeah, where we are supposed to go into the fjord. So
Fram can fight through the ice, but that battle will take so long they might miss out on other stops in the days ahead.
So what we're thinking about, if these conditions continue, we probably will do, is to go directly for Qaqortoq. Yeah.
I agree.
The decision is clear. They'll skip the first stop and head directly to the next one, Qaqortoq, 55 kilometers farther away. That leaves Karen and her team with a hole to fill in the itinerary.
The sea ice had moved a lot further out at the moment.
Qaqortoq was planned as the perfect place to see wildlife, musk oxen, reindeer, maybe even a polar bear. It's one of the main attractions of the cruise.
Yeah, okay, will be our only possibility on this trip to see perhaps polar bears, because they come on the ice sailing around the southern coast, yes. Yes?
There could be a drifter.
Yes,
Could be a drifter. You're quite right, actually.
Yes, and that's
The immediate solution is to sail through patches of drift ice that might have animals on them.
If we can cut some small belt through, look for seals.
Drift ice won't be enough, but a few days from now, the ship could stop at an abandoned naval base where they've seen wildlife before.
But Nadon is beautiful. There are also musk ox there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mini muskox.
And for sure we have to think about guns when
Guns,
we go out,
yes.
yes, because it's springtime, yeah. The muskox in springtime. That's very special. Yes, quite romantic. It was.
But nothing on this cruise is certain. So all Karen can do now is tell the guests that the first landing is canceled and that her team is doing its best to replace it with another wildlife stop later in the cruise.
People that come on these voyages, they are well read, they are well prepared, they know exactly what to expect. You can't fool them, you know, and there is no reason why we should either.
Later that afternoon,
This is the captain speaking from the bridge. Forward on your starboard side, you now can see your first iceberg.
the captain's announcement draws a crowd to the foredeck of the ship.
It's spectacular. It's beautiful.
Then, just as the expedition team had hoped, Fram rounds an iceberg to find a family of seals lounging about. His guests might be in a hurry to soak in the scenery, but for the captain, there's no rushing where ice is involved.
If I go too fast, I can have a hole in my hull, for instance. Or my hull will look like a hungry horse after a while.
After 1,600 kilometers in the open sea, the ice and seals whet everyone's appetite for more. This is what they came for.
It's nice to just get rolling. The program sort of is on a halt when you're doing these sea days.
By tomorrow afternoon, Fram should arrive in Qaqortoq, and her guests will set foot on Greenland for the first time.
We have built up the expectations for the afternoon. So it's important that we get the afternoon landing done. I want to get ashore now.
Off station, you can pick up your slack on your spring aft.
It's day 5 of Fram's expedition cruise to Greenland.
Welcome to Qaqortoq.
After 4 days at sea, her guests finally step off the ship.
We're just going to take you up there.
On the dock, expedition leader Karen Strand is ready to take a small group of intrepid hikers through the village and into the wilderness beyond.
Very slippery. We're taking them onto a hike to the Great Lake, which is very scenic, very nice, and we go through the settlement first before we enter into the more unspoiled nature.
Meanwhile, the engineers have some serious work to do.
What seems to be the problem?
Sir, we have a problem with the pump.
A pump that's a vital part of the stateroom's heating system has sprung a leak. Not good, with Karen's hikers expecting to return to a warm and cozy ship.
Since it's only 5 degrees outside, it will be quite cold in the cabins for the passengers.
Then we open this on the discharge side, and we find this old one. Part was stick up here.
That's why we lost the pressure.
Correct.
It's not a catastrophe, but on a voyage this remote, the engineers have to jump on every small problem before it becomes a big one.
So we will change the shaft, we will change the mechanical seal, bearings, oil rings, oil seals.
After all, on a ship, leak is a 4-letter word.
No, we don't like that. Not at all.
So far, so good.
After an hour of hiking along the creek from Qaqortoq, Karen's group reaches Lake Qaqortoq, literally the Great Lake.
It's a bit rainy, but we managed to go to the point where we originally were supposed to go.
The lake runs for 12 kilometers north of the town, the full length of which freezes up every winter. But it's usually thawed by now.
Never seen it frozen before. And it's June, so it's a novelty, I have to say. This winter has been extraordinary.
It's a damp, cold hike. But for many guests, the change of scenery is enough to warm their hearts.
It was a lot better than being here than being in London on a Monday morning, that's for sure. It's just the openness, the quietness, the beauty, it's just wonderful.
By 7:48 p.m., the guests are all back on board. The bridge and deck crews don't waste a second in departing. The next passage runs through a narrow ice-filled corridor near Mato, then north towards Narsok. If Fram can't make it through here, they will have to sail out to the bay and head up a different fjord. Captain Horvik knows this will be the trickiest navigation of the voyage, one he'd rather not tackle in the dark.
Take bridge. It is getting completely dark. I don't know how close I can go to the iceberg.
A couple of hours later, Fram creeps into the tightest passage of the cruise.
And it's not possible to sail it, but it's too shallow.
Captain Horvik has called every senior officer of the ship to the bridge. He may know his ice, but he also knows he can't handle this transit alone.
Yeah, you have one on your bow also.
Chief Officer Anders Lyngvar keeps a sharp eye on the monitor feed from the ship's 5 cameras.
There's a big one on starboard, it's close to the ship.
One looking off each side of the bow and 3 looking astern.
They're pretty, they're 20, 30 tons that are floating in the water, so we don't want to hit them.
Arsen Prostov, Fram's navigation officer, watches over the port side.
Okay.
Even Chief Engineer Erling Liren has come up from engine control. to act as a starboard side lookout.
First thing you can do is to have a hole in the ship side.
It's all hands on deck to keep the ship safe.
That will be almost the end of the season for us if we have a damage on that.
But if it starts pressing towards the iceberg and there's no room, you have to tell me. I go a little starboard.
Here, there's just no way to avoid contact with the ice. But since Fram is not an icebreaker, that contact must be deliberate and delicate. First, Captain Horvik works to ease the ship's ice-strengthened hull up against smaller pieces of ice and use them to push bigger pieces out of the way.
To keep the course, you can see on the screen that we are pushing it away. It's moving.
Yeah.
The ship's powerful bow thrusters rumble into action.
Best if you can have something hanging on your bow and you can use as to push the rest of the ice forward.
But those same pieces of ice that Fram uses to protect her bow can become a threat as they move down the hull. So the captain sets the rear propellers against each other to wash the ice away from the side of the ship.
The fruit on that one.
See it on the camera too.
Take a little to starboard.
There's one other hazard that's greater than anything else.
And we cannot go too close because you cannot press the ice towards that one. It's probably grounded.
Yeah, probably grounded.
The water is 16 meters deep under keel. Plenty of clearance for Fram's 5.1 meter draft. But on the starboard side, it's shallow enough for the icebergs to come to a dead stop on the sea floor. Hit one of them, and it's game over.
And that's like trying to press ice up against a rock, and that will come back to you.
Delicate maneuvers, sharp chunks of ice, and icebergs grounded like boulders. The guests gawking out on deck have no idea of the risks and challenges confronting the captain and his team on the bridge. Day 5 of Fram's first Greenlandic expedition cruise of the year. She's at the climax of the most challenging navigation of the voyage.
Ja, det gråler precis.
Passing through the tight, ice-ridden confines that run west past Motto, then north towards Norsok. If she can't make it through here, Fram will have to reverse course and sail all the way around to a different fjord, more than doubling the length of the passage. The first and worst belt of ice spans 5.5 kilometers and takes a full hour to get through.
We make it, so we are through. Just a small belt of ice here and we are through.
The captain meets his deadline, tackling the toughest section before the Arctic sun even sets. By mid-afternoon on day 6, Fram arrives in Qaqortoq, site of the first Viking settlement in Greenland.
Erik the Red, he was the first Viking that came here. They called it Greenland.
Let go, boat anchor. Secure anchor.
The moment the anchor hits the water, Fram's able seamen haul the ship's 7 small boats out the starboard side door of the ship.
These guys are really tough. They sit in the boat, they drive the boat all day, but they never complain.
5 of those boats will make a series of runs to tender most of the guests ashore. Meanwhile, a handful of other passengers gears up, donning buoyant wet weather suits to protect them from the frigid water. They hop aboard the other 2 vessels for a scenic tour of the ice in a nearby fjord. The guests are giddy with anticipation, but Anders and his team of drivers are all business.
We must remember we are traveling around in one of the most extreme areas. We are dealing with ice every day. The connection between the boat and shore is the tender boat drivers. They have really, really much experience.
Eric the Red, named for his fiery hair, beard, and some say his temper, arrived here around the year 985 from Iceland, with about 300 men and women to establish a new life.
And they are brought here by King Olav Tryggvason of Norway to...
Well, it's pretty incredible to be here. Well, you know, you hear about Eric the Red, now you're at his homestead in the middle of Greenland. You get a really good understanding of what life was like.
And I was baptized in Norway.
In the reconstructed longhouse, Fram's Edda Leiberth brings the Norse settlers' story to life.
She is such a character. She just gets right into her role.
Eric the Red, here were Red.
Edda has performed around the world, earning praise from travelers, royals, and scholars alike.
And she's completely costumed with her hair down and her voice bellowing.
Who are these black devils over there?
And she's just so real.
Greenland's Viking population swelled quickly to more than 2,000 in only 15 years. But only 500 years later, the Vikings had completely disappeared.
It's awesome. It's amazing. I mean, you know, you just get goosebumps because you think, look who was here. And now I am.
The visit to Qaqortoq goes off perfectly, with Fram's team of tender drivers working tirelessly to get everyone back to the ship on time. But that evening, after a visit to the town of Narsuk, the local boats hired to shuttle passengers back to the ship aren't quite keeping up.
Okay, still waiting for that last boat. Next one in, chop chop.
The captain is eager to leave.
Okay, unload already.
The next navigation will see the ship heading to open sea and forging the longest ice belts of the voyage, 55 kilometers in all.
We're running out of time. We're running out of time.
Captain Horvik wants as much time as possible to fight his way to Greenland's west coast.
When will the next boat come, or what's the status?
It's right here now. It's coming. Last boat.
Okay,
Yeah.
leaving before 8 o'clock.
We can
2
leave-
hours before estimated.
Yeah.
Very
So
nice.
we should be done in 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
You've done a very good job today. Thank you very much.
Arild.
2 hours before.
Yeah, 2 hours
you.
before.
As Fram waves goodbye,
Ilulissat radio, this is the passenger vessel Fram.
Navigation Officer Arsen Prostov calls in to Greenland's coastal authority.
This is Azure Radio here, loud and clear.
The crew must report the ship's position and itinerary every 6 hours. Failure to check in automatically triggers the launch of a rescue mission.
They say that they will send off the plane to look for us where we are.
For the most part, though, Fram is on her own, with Captain Horvik trying to predict how the ice ahead has changed since the last maps were issued.
Ice maps, they are in a way always history.
For the passage ahead, the latest ice maps are already more than 24 hours old.
They just give you an indication how the ice situation will be when you are there.
4 hours later, with the Viking settlement and the town of Narsuk in the rearview mirror, Fram exits the mouth of Bredafjord.
Starboard bow, clear.
The captain now has a clearer view of the ice, but it's not some photo from a satellite. It's up close, with Fram facing off against the longest ice passage of the voyage. Full, frozen, and more than 50 kilometers long.
As long as we have a horizon and a little light in the air, we easier to find openings in the pack ice with the ice radar.
It's past midnight, but the ice is brilliant and dangerous.
We can see the pack ice here.
Ice radar gives some idea of a path, and Fram's advanced steering makes her maneuverable. But there's always a measure of mystery to this.
I don't know what's behind it. I know it's ice and I know it's metals.
The biggest threat? Growlers. Chunks of ice that have broken off an iceberg and hide much of their mass below the waterline. They're as big as a pickup truck and hard enough to punch through a ship's hull.
They could move very quickly, get affected by current and get close to the ship quite quickly.
Take this on my boat, guys.
Take it on the bow. Okay.
Captain Horvik engages Fram's bow thrusters to ease up against the smaller pieces of ice, using them to push larger chunks out of the way.
We have to take the time that we need. There's nothing to do about that.
The thrusters may rattle the entire ship, but it's actually a delicate maneuver.
Moving away, both sides.
Tell me which way it's turning.
This creeping navigation would be challenging even in broad daylight, and it won't be over until 4 or 5 in the morning.
I will be up till we are out of most of the ice. But that's okay. You don't feel very tired when it is like this.
10:30 a.m. on the 7th day of Fram's expedition cruise to Greenland finds the ship anchored off the abandoned naval base at Ilulissat.
Let's see if there is a small jetty there.
Karen and her team head ashore to scout out a safe landing area for their guests.
Reach right out. Nothing. Damn. No, it's nothing there. Okay, we take the ramp. We take the ramp by the blue house.
They've come here in search of wildlife, some of which can pose a serious threat. So their first priority on shore, readying their rifles.
Protection for polar bears, protection for muskox. Potentially dangerous, both of them.
Shooting an animal is a last resort. In most cases, a warning shot would scare a bear or muskox away.
Right now, we walk together until we have established the periphery, okay?
Karen's hoping this stop will make up for the wildlife landing that was scrubbed a few days ago.
It's very important that they see wildlife now.
And before long...
You see, we already have the muskox over there. There are at least 4.
Musk oxen may look like bison or buffalo. Actually, they're more closely related to goats and sheep. But they're hardly domesticated, and a full-grown male can weigh up to 400 kilograms.
9 or 10 on the side of that hill. They're clearly not afraid of us.
Within minutes, more musk oxen appear, almost as if they have come to greet the landing party.
Beautiful animals.
Then, reindeer.
Oh, I see him. Yeah, you see him? Yeah. Well, I think it's pretty cool to see reindeer. I always saw them in these Santa things, like Santa movies. Now I can see them in person.
Yeah, it's an incredible experience.
Yeah.
It's
kind of cool.
It feels like a magazine. It doesn't feel real. It looks amazing. just being surrounded by it.
They've come a long way, so they deserve to see sort of in a sense, an iconic animal of the Arctic. In all of us, the expedition team, we all get a big kick out of that. It's why we come back in a way.
Exactly. That's why we enjoy our job so much. I think we have some of the best jobs in the world, really. We even get paid to do it.
Having checked off another item on the bucket list of this cruise, Fram departs again. She makes her way to the west coast for stops in Greenland's largest centers, Nuuk and Sissimut, before heading towards the icebergs that line the shores of Disco Bay. 2 days later, on day 9 of the voyage, Captain Horvik sounds a celebratory blast.
North, 66 degrees, 34 minutes, so we just crossed the Arctic Circle.
Crossing the Arctic Circle is a special event. Fram is so far north that now the sun never sets. So Neptune, in the form of hotel manager Kjell Carlson, comes out to baptize the guests.
Oh, so good. It's beautiful.
After 5 days of fighting through the ice and scrambling to rearrange shore excursions, the next few days should be smooth sailing. Tomorrow, they'll visit the icebergs at Ilulissat. Then Fram will turn south and finish by sailing up a spectacular 180-kilometer-long fjord to the airport at Qaqortoq. But later that day,
Karin, I need to have a meeting with you. Can we go in the conference room, Colin Usher? Yep. I need to show you something.
the captain has bad news for Karen. The latest ice map shows no problem entering the fjord, but the last 55 kilometers of the passage are completely impassable, frozen solid with ice 1 meter thick. As a result, they'll divert to Nuuk, Greenland's capital, to catch a different flight back to Iceland or Europe.
Nuuk?
Nuuk. We have to go on a passenger change in Nuuk.
Okay.
And I talked a little bit with the company, and they said they start arranging and help us arranging everything.
It's a meter thick ice.
Missing out on the fjord will make for a much less scenic finale to the cruise. Out on deck, the passengers settle in to slumber under the midnight sun. But for Karen, the decision to skip Qaqortoq is going to make for a restless night.
Thank God we have good weather in store for Ilulissat. I think we can save it, but we're going to have full attention on tomorrow now. Absolutely every man to the pump.
In a few days, the passengers will be on their way home. Karen knows that their lasting impressions of this cruise will now be that of, well, whatever tomorrow brings. Everything is riding on the icebergs. By morning, with the sun gleaming, Fram is deep into Disco Bay. Day 10 is off to a good start.
The ice fjord is legendary.
More icebergs calve off here than anywhere in the Arctic. But seeing them from the ship isn't enough. So Fram's tender boats are quickly deployed.
It's unbelievably better than I thought it would be. Oh, it's marvelous.
Others board a larger vessel to venture into the fjord.
Old ice, then you have nearly no air bubbles inside. And if you have
I have no words for it. It's great.
It's maybe the most beautiful thing I ever seen. I think so. Absolutely, yeah.
35 billion tons of ice calve off the glacier located 60 kilometers up the fjord and flow out past here each year.
This is like no place else on Earth.
Moving at a pace of 40 meters a day.
No place I've ever been before. This is fantastic. But you have to be here. You have to have both eyes on this. You got to be able to see the whole thing.
And for Karen, seeing the whole thing is about to take on a new meaning. The expedition cruise ship Fram has arrived at Ilulissat, the iceberg capital of the world. It's the highlight of the cruise that everyone was anticipating. But expedition leader Karen Strand and a few passengers are boarding a helicopter to put the icing on the cake. With most of the ship's guests touring the mouth of the fjord in small boats, they're getting a bird's eye view that will take them all the way to the heart of the ice cap. Over the past 6 years, Karen has sent dozens of her guests on this flight, all of whom returned overwhelmed.
We're gonna take people somewhere very special, somewhere that hardly anybody on the planet get to go.
But Karen has always been too busy running the operations to hop on the helicopter. So this is the first time she will see the birthplace of the icebergs herself.
I can see the ice cap from here. It's absolutely fantastic. And the landscape with the frozen glaciers is something out of this world from this perspective. It's incredible. And this view is amazing.
In the 1850s, this glacier reached to within 20 kilometers of the coastline. By the year 2000, it had retreated about 25 kilometers, and another 15 kilometers since then. All the more reason to see it now.
I have no words. I really have no words. When people have come back from these trips, they have like these, you know, stars in their eyes and stuff. And I thought it was a little bit over exaggerated, but it isn't. It really isn't.
The visit to the world's most productive glacier is a hit.
The passengers that came to me today and yesterday, I will remember this day for the rest of my life.
It's a sentiment Captain Horvik won't hear again. When they arrive in Nuuk, it won't just be the end of the cruise. It will be the end of his career at sea.
I will hang a uniform here, so I'll be ready to come for a little visit from time to time if they need me.
Even in retirement, though, the captain won't be leaving the high north.
Fantastic.
He makes his home 400 kilometers inside the Arctic Circle.
I like the polar areas, and I like the feeling of being there. It's my way of life, I can say.
A way of life that Karen won't give up anytime soon.
I couldn't face office work. That would kill me. This view is amazing. The fact that I get paid to do this is amazing, you know. I get to be out and become known to some of the most remote areas in the world that I know better now than I know my own home place.
Fram will continue on in the Arctic for another few months. When summer turns to fall in the northern hemisphere, she'll head south, tackling the highs and lows of the seas around Antarctica. On this ship, life is all about polar extremes.